two stocks which are declining. The stock on our radar is Tilaknagar Industries. The company yesterday unveiled its first luxury brandy called Monarch Legacy Edition. Will be launched this quarter. To understand more about this and the way forward for the company, we do have Amit Dahanukar who's joining in. Amit, always a pleasure speaking with you. I remember in the conference call you did say that you're just a couple of weeks away from your first luxury brandy launch. You've done that. Price at around 6750 rupees in Maharashtra for a 750 ml bottle. What I wanted to understand is brandy, while overall is 20% of the alcohol market in India, what is the salience of premium and luxury in brandy versus the other parts of the alcohol market? What's the headroom here? And what can you do from this product in terms of revenue?
Good morning, Mangalam. Thank you for having me on this show this morning. So I think as most of our viewers and investors know, we are India's largest premium brandy selling company. Two of our brands, Mansion House and Courier, they're millionaire brands. So there were two reasons, in fact, for getting into the luxury segment. One was, of course, we felt that for us, it's a natural progression to move up the value chain in terms of having a luxury offering. And the second, more importantly, was that we do feel that there is a market to be addressed in this luxury category for brandy as well. We see that a lot of companies and a lot of brands are quite active in the luxury space in the whiskey category. So we do believe that there is a gap in the luxury brandy space as well.
Which was what the question was. How big do you think is the TAM and how much of that can you gather?
So, Mangalam, India, of course, whiskey is the primary category in India. 60% is whiskey. The brandy is the second largest. 20% is brandy. Of course, in the luxury space, it's very difficult to really tell, what the market would be. I mean, it would be a long-term play. I think our intention is to just seed it. And there's an offering which is there. It's a legacy edition. Of course, we've completed 40 years in IMFL. So we felt that it's good to have that offering in the market right now.
All
but
right.
really go ahead, Nigel. Yeah.
No, you're making the point. Finish it.
No, so what I was saying is that of course, in the whiskey, there are so many multiple offerings at various price points. So we felt that it would be good in terms of our brandy strategy also to ladder up, and that's what we've been doing. I think over the past 2-3 years. A lot of our efforts post restructuring, have been towards moving up the value chain. So it's the premiumization journey, of course, is long. It's not something which is going to really pan out over a quarter or two quarters. It's more, a 5-7 year long journey. So we have just started.
But Amit, 6,700 rupees for a 750 ml of brandy, is it a little steep?
So that's the price.
The weather is perfect. The weather is perfect, and it'll only get better for the next 60 days. But 6,750 bucks for a 750 ml. Don't you think it's a little steep, or your studies say that you'll get demand?
So in Maharashtra, just because of the way the excise structure and taxation is, it does end up in that vicinity. But some of the other markets like Goa and Puducherry, it would be sub 5,000 over there. So, but anyway, depending on state, the price would vary from 3,500 to about 8,000 rupees a bottle.
So, which all states will you be selling this in?
So, of course, I'm quite pleased to say that we have already received pre-orders for our exports. So, I think that's an initiative which is already rolled out. We're seeing some movement in terms of the export front, in terms of luxury category and an Indian offering. I think that's something which we're very proud of to have crafted this brandy. And with the domestic markets, of course, launch in Puducherry, Karnataka, Maharashtra, states where we have good distribution. I think that will be the way forward.
So what's your estimate here in number of cases? How many can you sell over the next 1 year or so? Just trying to understand, because you say there is a gap here. You are also exploring it. And, the demographic of brandy drinkers would perhaps be a little different from that of whiskey drinkers. So just wanted to understand what your internal targets are before you launched this.
It's so difficult to really put a finger on that, Mangalam. I think it's too early. I think, but one thing I can say that, more from cases will be looking at bottles sold rather than cases. Yeah. And I think in terms of the overall story, I think our company's intention also has been to give the category an uplift. So I think that's very important. We have to, look at it from that lens as well, as to, the whiskey category has been, very actively invested space, both in terms of communication, product, distribution, etc. The brandy category, we believe, is an underinvested category. So I think if one sees it from that lens, I think it should go towards changing the imagery which is surrounding brandy, which has traditionally been that medicinal drink, cold, cough,
Yeah.
etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, it is a good medicine, at times. But
The way you're coughing, Nigel.
no, Amit, tell us about quarter 3 now. Let's keep brandy aside. How is the business shaped up? It could be a blockbuster quarter. Is it shaping up like that? You're at Diwali, you're going to have Christmas, the winters, right down your alley. Have things recovered? And what should the volume growth for the year look like? Because there has been that policy change in Andhra as well.
Sure. So the first half, I think it was a low single-digit growth, Nigel, and I think we've been over the reasons. I think there were election there and both national elections and state elections in Andhra Pradesh. But this half year, definitely, we'll end this half year. H2 looks at double-digit growth for sure.
All right, double-digit growth for H2.
So,
What does that mean for the entire year? You did expect to cross that 1,300 crore mark on the revenue front. From a volume standpoint, steady state, you've guided for 12 to 15%. But this year would be how much?
I think this year would be around same. I think our revenue guidance, Mangalam, if I'm not correct, it would be around 1,600, 1,700 crores for this financial year.
Okay, all right. Just a quick point, about you'll have acquired a couple of companies. I think the last one, Spaceman, if I remember correctly, you increased the stake from 10 to 20%. And they are coming out with some blockbuster, drinks. Personally, I've tasted Samsara, which is brilliant as a gin. And the rum addition is very, very good. Sitara, wow, I think that could really rock. Do you have any plans of increasing stake from around 20%?
So firstly, Nigel, thank you for the compliment. I'm very pleased that you have tried Sitara because it's a very recent introduction. And, yes, currently we have committed for a 20% stake. And now we'll be distributing Samsara and Sitara also in the markets where we are strong. So, we do see this partnership going forward in the coming years.
But will you increase stake, because both these two brands, they could do pretty well, as an option for rum. The Sitara is going to be, for those who want to drink more premium rum, I think it's in that vicinity of around 2,700 to 3,000 rupees. And even for the gin, there's a fair bit of demand. So sooner rather than later, would you want to go ahead and increase your stake?
So I wouldn't be, willing to commit as to, but the partnership is definitely synergistic. I think there's synergies on both sides, and both have things to be gained from the other. So we'll just be taking it a step at a time.
All right, and final question before we let you go. We're out of time, not out of questions. This one is with regards to Tamil Nadu. Now, in the first quarter, you had 5.5% stake share in the market. Tamil Nadu increased to about 8.1%. I wanted to understand what is the potential from here, because India average contribution from brandy is about 20%. Tamil Nadu, that's about 50%. And in such a large market, you're just about entering and increasing market share. So how big a state do you think it could be for you over the next, say, 6 months to 12 months and perhaps at a steady state? What kind of market share are you targeting here?
Mangalam, that's a good question. I think Tamil Nadu is a very large brandy market. As you correctly pointed out, 50% of the brandy market is in Tamil Nadu. But let's also keep in mind that 80% of that market will be entry-level brandy in which we are not operating. So perhaps the addressable market for us is 20% of the entire Tamil Nadu market. So we have one product currently over there, which is Mansion House Reserve, which is growing quite well. But yes, we have a pipeline of products which we are looking at introducing in Tamil Nadu in the next 12 months. So of course, we'll have the flagship Mansion House introduced over there, and also the Brandy. The orange brandy is something also which we will introduce in the next 12 months. So very optimistic in terms of Tamil Nadu. A large brandy market, predominantly, of course, cheap brandy, but good value proposition in terms of premium brandy as well. Monarch is something also which we will try and invest with the institutions in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, and what about Imperial Blue? Are you interested or not?
So it's a great brand, Nigel. I think let's not make any mistake of that. Large whiskey brand. We know how difficult it is to create, brands in today's context, and it's an iconic brand. Sales upwards of 20 million cases. So we really good brand. I think it's probably the one of the top 5 or top 10 brands in India. So
interested or not? Interested? Are you all interested? Amit, are you all interested? Are you all interested in Imperial Blue?
So, Nigel, we continuously, we keep looking at opportunities which we believe will be synergistic in terms of the overall vision and growth of the company.
Okay.
So we evaluate that on a continuous basis.
There was a pause. I was wondering whether you're going to give me something dynamic or that it was going to be breaking news. But for the time being, you're just appreciating the brand.
I don't know whether the pause was dramatic or technology-led. So
it was technology-led, I must confess.
So there is no drama out here. You're not buying Imperial Blue for now, is what we can...
So no comments right now, Mangalam.
All right.
Refrain from making any comments.
All right, we will await any commentary on that very soon. But good luck with this launch and good luck with your, endeavors in the next 6 months. At least the second half of this year looks a lot better than the first half, and thereafter with all your plans as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
With that, we'll take a short break, come back, focus on the markets, a lot of stock-specific action. We've seen no response.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV18 on all of our digital platforms.